Tim Podcast, and welcome to our new episode. This is going to be kind of long because we did not do any shorts with news updates this past month because we've both been extremely busy. But now that we have you, let's talk about it. We covered the Iran war the last time. We thought it was coming to an end. It really hasn't. So a barrel of oil is back up to about $87. And as I look here, it got as low as 71, 72. I believe once this war ends, we're going to get into 55s. And the reason I believe that is because we have more oil supply now that we can access Venezuela, which is roughly the second largest oil producer in the world, once they get going. So that's my feeling behind it. But this war is back to a full-fledged war, so I don't want to tell you when that's going to end. The volatility really affects trucking more than any other industry, maybe the airlines industry. So just actually keep that in mind. As we run through just some of the major news that's out there, the LTL carriers are seeing a little catch-up in demand, and we're seeing 3PL rates continue to go up. So my 3PL brothers out there, rates are going up. But again, the rates were so depressed for so long, I'm not surprised to see those rates up. The ocean carriers are having some of the same issues, especially if you're coming out of the Middle East area because of the problems in the Strait of Hormuz. We still have carriers getting shot at and things of that nature. So keep that in mind. So we're doing a couple of things that I think is interesting. PACCAR continues to leave their drivers on autonomous trucks for now. So we still have tons of autonomous trucks running in Texas and in other areas of the U.S. The main things we're seeing now is just from the war, is just instability across trucking markets from top to bottom. The Federal Reserve is keeping the interest rate it's the same. They're not lowering it or anything of that nature. Then we're going to go into, if you guys remember when we covered the Supreme Court case, and we said once this was lifted, people were going to be able to sue brokerage directly. So there was a jury award for $600 million that find that a carrier and a driver also was effectively employed by C.H. Robinson. So this is a nuclear verdict for almost $600 million. Okay. So basically, it was handed out from a Dallas County courtroom, handed out a verdict of $604 million in a case involving a March 2021 crash in Jackson, Mississippi. The case was filed in a Texas courtroom against the carrier, which was Lupus Superior, which was based there, and against C.H. Robinson, who was hired to move products for Arizona Beverages. So again, the broker is being dragged into this case due to some things they pointed out that was wrong with the carrier. That's what this Supreme Court thing had opened us up to, and that's kind of where we are now. And obviously, they are appealing that, but again, that is a major verdict, nuclear verdict. I can tell you, C.H. Robinson can survive that if they had to pay it out. I think they'll appeal it, and they'll sell it somewhere lower, but I don't think it's going to be that much lower. But I don't know if any other brokerages that are not tied to the large companies like UPS or brokerage sites of JBL that could survive this kind of verdict. It's a major verdict. I don't know that insurance, people has insurance, catastrophic insurance that can cover that high. So I think this is just a major warning in what's to come in the market itself. Now, as I look at the overall market, truckload, refrigerated flatbed, all show signals of gains and rates getting higher. Ocean, because of the volatility, showed rates are getting extremely higher, and 3PL rates seems to be going up. So, with all that said, that's all I have. I hope I can bring you news that the Iran war was ended, but it's not. We're still going on. It's still affecting fuel in a very volatile nature. And the volatility hurts because for some of you guys that price it within the fuel, it dropped to $7 a barrel. Fuel dropped. You took an all-in rate for $900, and then by the time you take the load, it's now at $90. So you think about the swing in that, the profit you were making is gone. You maybe lose some money that load, but you still have to service it because you took it at an all-in rate. So that volatility affects you. We understand that. And we'll continue to bring you as much news as possible. You'll get some shorts this month leading up to the next, because I think there's going to be a lot of things happening. But with that said, That's all I have today. Now, welcome to our new episode of the Hall of Fame podcast. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. We have a great company today, and I think it's important we look about as we continue to evolve. I want to bring you things that you haven't heard before. Not only have you heard from me, have you heard from any of the podcasters that are out there? And I think this one's important. It's going to bring you a tool. Oh, well, there are several tools. I'll let them go into the tools are. That helps you improve your fleet, improve efficiency, improve tire wear, and all those things. So without further ado, let me go forward and say we're introducing AKTV8. We have the CEO, Gary, and we also have Josh on. I'll give you guys an opportunity, each of you. You want Josh, you want to start first, and Gary, just give us a quick introduction, tell us a little about the company, and especially how it pertains to commercial trucking, which is what we are concerned about. Go ahead, guys.
Hey, thanks very much. Josh Coombs. I'm a CTO and co-founder with Gary. We started this company almost 10 years ago. We've been developing and manufacturing products underneath trucks for over 8 years now. We've got over 400,000 of our modules running around under trucks. We've learned a lot, and we've got a new product line of sensors. We're going to get into it, and Gary's going to lead the way here. I'll let him go.
Cool. Yeah. Ken, thanks for having us on the Hall of Fame. Appreciate that. Gary Meyer, I'm the co-founder of AKTV8. And as Josh said, we've sort of pivoted into heavy trucking over the last 5 years as an exclusive. We were doing a lot of air suspension control prior and found that with the advent of telematics, there's a great need and desire for electronic control in this industry. And so we've sort of made an exclusive play and developed a lot of really good technologies and developed a lot of really good partnerships in this industry. So we're excited about it. What makes us different is, we've got a patented platform around both pneumatic controls and sensors. And the whole point of this is to minimize the integration costs while maximizing the amount of data and uptime that the fleets can benefit from. So, this it's really been brought about since the advent of telematics, right? Telematics is maturing on the truck side of things and gaining a lot of traction on the trailer side of things. And that's brought the opportunity for fleets to get a lot of critical safety and efficiency data that reduces, their downtime, unplanned downtime, enables them to better optimize their fleets for maintenance and reduce their CSA scores and the like. And the secondary problem with that is that there's just so many different solutions that you can choose from now. And all of those require some level of integration. You might have an ECU that has to be installed. You got to put wire harness, and then you got configuration with that ECU and across multiple sensors. So if you're trying to put multiple solutions on there, from tire pressure monitoring to load monitoring to lift axle control or hub monitoring, you could have 4 different solutions and 4 different integrations that you have to work your way through. So our platform is designed to simplify that. So it's really a one-stop shop of an ECU and a myriad of sensors that plug and play with it. So that's really where we're positioned in uniqueness. We can talk more about the controls themselves and the sensors and what makes our technology different. But as a platform, that's where we feel like we're uniquely positioned.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah. So this episode is really going to my fleet owners. Talk about the guys who own 200, 400, 500 trucks, 1,000 trailers, or less 500 trailers. Tell me so I bring someone to you today. I'm thinking about someone right here in Chicago. They do trailers, they do regional, not rail. And I know they have about 1,200 trailers and about 310 trucks running regionally around the Midwest. I know they have no trailer tracking. They have no telematics on the trailer. Cut on the trucks, like you said, because the trucks are kind of preset with it. They have things about lane change, this data, hard braking, you name it, but nothing on the trailer itself today. What would you say to that person?
Yeah, I think that fleet has a couple of good opportunities. One, depending on what telematics provider they're using on the truck, there is an opportunity to put our sensors and a gateway on the trailer and communicate directly with that telematics system from the trailer to the truck and make that easy and agnostic. The second opportunity they have is using what we call.
I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Can you? When you talk about? We're trying to make sure we go through it. when you talk about tying in to the truck telematics, so are you more compatible with the normal trucks? I know there are a lot of specialized trucks. I'm talking about your Freightliners, Internationals, whatever you want to call them, your Volvos. Are most brands you're able to work with, or is there, so just so they would have an idea what they're looking at?
Yeah, I think it's agnostic relative to the brand, whether it be a Freightliner, Mack or what have you. It really comes down to which telematics provider they're using on that truck, whether it's a Platform Science, a Geotab, a Samsara, and there's dozens of those. So we go through the process of integrating our technology with each of those platforms so it's compatible, and those fleets can look at the marketplace and see we have a solution. So yeah, from assuming they're with one of the telematics providers that we're integrated with, there might be an opportunity to connect truck to trailer and not have to do anything separate telematics wise on the trailer at all. The second and probably least expensive would be to use what we call a yard scout on the trailer, and you can put any number of sensors on there with a gateway, and that communicates to a central hub that's stationed within the yard. And you mentioned this was more of a regional fleet, so I'm assuming they're coming and going from the same yard every evening, and so they more or less get real-time data every time that truck enters or leaves the yard with data on the tire sensors, load, hub, etc., or even whether the door is open and closed and locked. They can get all of that data real time as the truck is coming and going.
Yes, they have some drop trucks out in the market, but for the most part, every driver comes back with a trailer. How is that? Does that make sense? He leaves with a trailer, comes back with a trailer. He may leave one or two out in Grand Rapids or somewhere else, but that trailer will eventually come back because you'll go and get it when it empties the following day, so forth. So every trailer hits the yard every couple of days. That makes sense.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And you'll collect all of that data real time. You'll have a dashboard showing you, any of the sensors that are there, whether the truck's in the yard or not in the yard, and whether there's any alerts that have been flagged by that, whether, from a low tire, et cetera.
All right. So what I'm trying to understand is when someone goes out and purchases your application, I'm trying to say, what is all the things he gets? He gets to know, obviously, where the box is. He knows if it's loaded, unloaded. He knows what time it got here, what time it left, and then he can tell the tire pressure. That's what I'm trying to have these fleet owners understand is if they have nothing today, or they may have the basics already. It depends on what trailer they bought. It may come in some air pressure. What exactly would they get? And just walk them through that they could use to improve their fleet productivity and some of those things. Okay?
Yeah. That's a great question, Ken. And I think this is where one of the areas that we shine. They can start small, right? You can start with just TPMS, right? Which is one of the most critical things that you want to know is your tire pressure. It's one of the most safety critical things. It has a lot to do with fuel economy and savings there. So you can start with a system like TPMS, which is going to tell you, overpressure, under pressure, and tire temperatures as they're coming and going into the yard, and alert you to anything that you set within a threshold that you want to know. And then you can add other sensors down the road, like later down the road, you want to, hey, these are my heavy haul guys. I want to add load sensors to these and get that data sent back. Or these, hey, I want to add the hub sensors now and know whether I've got grease or oil leaks out of my hubs and know if I'm over temperaturing or I've got a brake that's dragging. You can add those sensors over time, and it plugs and plays with the same platform. There's no additional integration cost to that.
Okay. So the tire being the largest savings, and I can tell you just from personal experience, I know for a fact if I were pre-trip as a driver to check the pressure on every tire, I can tell you that they do not.
Correct.
It is very rare. We would be happy if we get a driver, we'd give them a tire iron or a crowbar, they go out and hit each tire to see if there's air in it. If we got that, we'd be like, oh yeah, great, let's go. So I think knowing that the tire is pressured it's a huge deal. I think there are two factors that you can eliminate. One is your roadside flat. And people have to remember in your mind, it's not like having a car flat. The cost of getting a tow truck out to repair a tire on a tractor trailer on the road is very expensive. Versus if I'm at my yard and I haven't left yet, you probably pop into the shop and probably an internal cost of, if you replace the tire, not 150, $200. On the road, you get in the thousand.
Yep, $600 to $800 on average for a roadside.
So I think those things are important. So I think there's some value there. So fleets can openly just go to your webpage and they can just send you a request. I've been playing around with your webpage all morning. They can just go and they can just request you to come out to actually to price something out, to take a look at what they have. Maybe they have some things already. What do you add to it? But your system itself can tie other systems to it, so they need to have several systems working at once.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's really the second area that I think we shine in, is at the ease of installation. We try to make it as easy as possible for fleets. So in the instance we were just talking about, where you've got what we call our Yard Scout system, where you've got an access point there that's collecting data from the fleets coming and going. The installation of that is as simple as you screw the sensors onto your valve stems, and then we have a mobile app configurator that you put your trailer ID into, and you walk around and you scan the sensors with a mobile app. It's a picture QR code, and that gets scanned in and automatically exported to the access point. And that's it. You're up and running. It's done. So really in minutes, you can configure a trailer and be up and running. And you got to replace a sensor. You just go in back into the same app, touch on it, delete it, scan a new one, and you're up and going.
So you really can just have the gate guard, have the app open with an iPad, and just scan everyone as they come in as you pull in the data.
Yeah, that's a third thing. If a lot of fleets don't want their drivers doing anything but driving, and that's a safe practice. But if the driver wanted to stay connected and see what's happening on his trailer, he can have that app while he's driving and see what's happening on his trailer real time.
Right, I love it. So what is a? And I know it's impossible. People are buying the different things. What does your cost structure look like? I don't need an exact number. Just what is a range of your cost structure? And from obviously there's savings on tire repair, not leaving the yard with a flat, flats on the road, several other things. And then when do you see? I'm sure you've done a study that says when do you get that money back if you install our equipment, just based on the savings that you would see. Can you walk me through any of that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good statistics on this, especially around tire inflation and tire pressure monitoring. The payback on even an ATIS system is 1 to 2 years for an average fleet. If you're a long haul guy, you can pay back a tire inflation system that is roughly $1,000. You can pay that back in less than a year. And a long haul guy. And if you consider in an unplanned downtime, which it's designed to eliminate, it almost pays for itself in that one instance. So and that's with a tire inflation system. If you go with TPMS is about 40% less than that, you can pay back even quicker.
Okay. So definitely worth it. Okay. Well, okay. What else do you want our audience to know? I really want to understand the system, understand tire pressure. Think about investing some money into this technology. Is there anything else you guys want our audience to know? Go ahead, let them include them in.
Yeah, no, we appreciate this. This is a fascinating industry. It's changing rapidly. It's a little bit like the Wild West. The technology is moving so fast. It's hard to keep up with, even for us sometimes. But as much as I like the platform, in an individual technology basis, we've got some really good technology. We've got over 30 patents around not just our technology individually, but as the systems. We've got lots of patents around tire inflation system, for example, that does a lot of really good diagnostics, and you can track if you have leaks, and whether it's a system leak or whether it's a tire leak, and whether it's something that just needs maintenance or whether that driver needs to get off the road immediately. You get so much more resolution and good predictive data from those systems. It's really amazing. And then the sensor platform is truly unique. We've got a state-of-the-art sensor. Josh, why don't you talk a little bit about the sensor platform a little bit?
Yeah, we're utilizing the latest Bosch tire pressure monitoring sensor. It includes Bluetooth on board with accelerometer, and we've got temperature as well. So we were able to really monitor not just the the tire pressure, but even more getting into vibration monitoring. We can start to sense flat spots. We're going to be getting into that here as we develop out this sensor, and also be able to sense vibration in the hub. So there's lots of opportunity to take this thing and deploy it into all kinds of new applications.
Yeah.
All right.
So from as far as robustness goes, this is something we all come from an automotive background. A lot of our software design engineers. So everything we've designed passes all of the heavy truck standards, right? We can do high pressure, high temperature pressure wash, up to immersion up to 1 meter in water, what's called the ice dunk test. All of our sensors and our ECUs pass all of those tests. So unlike a lot of the other solutions where it looks like you've got a bunch of different stuff stuffed in a Tupperware container and bolted to the bottom of a truck, that's not us. Everything that we've designed and developed and validated is designed to an OE standard, validated to an OEM standard. It looks like the engine control module that's sitting underneath your pickup truck today, and that's where we've got 400,000 of them on the road. And that's what you get from us in the heavy truck side of things as well. So this is an industrial OEM grade solution as well.
All right. Well, great. Well, thank you. Thank you guys for coming on the Hall of Fame. That is AKTV8. We will log their webpage. We'll also put it on LinkedIn and log their social media so you guys can get a hold of them. I think it's a great technology for some of you people out there not taking advantage of it. And Josh and Gary, welcome to the Hall of Fame.